51 viewers. Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to do a build guide and Albrecht's AAR character. Now, the reason we're going over the Spellbinder tonight instead of the Sorcerer with the changes to Albrecht's AAR, which, by the way, in case anyone's uninformed, I can't actually cast without the offhand. And who's uninformed, it pierces now. So, piercing AAR is kind of a massive quality of life improvement, because even though it technically deals less damage, it kills easier and it just works better. So, the reason for the Spellbinder over the Sorcerer for this particular guide is the Clairvoyant set. And we'll get to this in detail when we get to gearing, but the long and short of it is the Clairvoyant set turns Albrecht's AAR into an Aether Vitality laser beam. So it takes all the fire damage and converts it to Aether, takes all the lightning damage and converts it to Vitality damage. And it works amazingly well with the Spellbinder. Now that's not to say the Sorcerer is bad. My Sorcerer still kicks ass. It's just, like, it's not a big departure for the Sorcerer. Pretty much we've had to change out like 2 items on that character and throw on a pulsing shard, but for the most part the Sorcerer has been unchanged since Ashes of Melmoth. It's like you got the Hellfire Mines and that was it. But this guy, like, he went to Aether Ray. The last build guide we did for him was an Aether Ray character. Then I equipped him with the Diviner set, so he basically spammed Reap Spirit. And actually that might be better, because Reap Spirit was buffed too. But yeah, we'll do Aether Ray now, and if I change him to Reap Spirit later, maybe I'll do a guide for that. So, skills without gear on. We have 9 on Aether Ray. Capped out Disintegration. 1 on Devastation. 8 on Iskandra's Elemental Exchange. 10 on Elemental Balance. 8 on Mirror. 6 on Sphere. 1 on Conversion. Capped out Inner Focus. 1 point on Arcane Will, Nullification, Mental Alacrity, and Fabric of Reality. For the Necromancer side, we have 11 to Siphon Souls, with its Transmuter Seer Souls, and 1 on Blood Boil. 11 on Harbinger of Souls, 1 on Ravenous Earth, 11 on Decay, and Foul Eruption, 4 on Reap Spirit, 11 on Spectral Binding, 10 on Spectral Wrath, and 1 on Mark of Torment. So, with our gear equipped, we end up with capped out Albrecht's and Disintegration, soft cap on Iskandra's Elemental Exchange, Mirror, Sphere, and overcapped a bit on Elemental Balance, 5 on Conversion, 5 on Devastation, 5 on the 4 at the bottom, and an overcapped Inner Focus. And then soft cap on Siphon Souls, Harbinger of Souls. Believe it or not, Reap Spirit jumped all the way up to 16. Decay, Foul Eruption, Spectral Binding, overcapped Spectral Wrath, and Mark of Torment. Did I actually not mention the points on these two? Whoops. I think I actually did go right by them, didn't I? Or maybe my brain is just in a fugue state, and I said them and did not notice I said the 2 ability point values. 11 on Binding, capped out Spectral Wrath. I might have actually said that, but I'm just making sure. Alright, so buffs up. Gear. We're running the Clairvoyant set. So the Clairvoyant set, Iskandra's set, Ulzin's set, and the Blood Rager sets were all heavily updated in this recent patch. The Clairvoyant set used to kind of be like a general Aether set. Like, it converted some Chaos to Aether. The helmet had +1 to all skills. the set as a whole was sort of just like a generalist spellcaster thing, and they wanted to move away from that. So what they did was they basically made it an Albrecht's Aether Ray set. Now, it's not to say if you're running like a Kabbalist, a non-Aether Ray Spellbinder, a non-Aether Ray Warlock, that you couldn't get benefits out of it. I think it's probably like mostly for a Spellbinder. Probably a Warlock could get in on it a lot too. So, like, that's my one criticism of the Clairvoyant set is, like, the Black Flame Scourge set already gave the Warlock class combo for Aether Ray, like, a really solid foundation set, right? And this kind of is like a cousin to it now, because it's also about converting Aether Ray. So there isn't really a set that supports the base Fire Aether, or even Fire Lightning Aether, or even Lightning Aether Ray. So my one little criticism is maybe a set like that should show up in the future. But for now, we can live with an Aether Vitality Aether Ray. That's actually kind of what the damage types were before. It was Fire Aether Vitality. Then they switched the Vitality to Lightning. So this kind of a little old school, I guess. But yeah, the weapon. It adds a chunk of Aether damage to Aether Ray, converts the fire to Aether and Aether Ray, adds a chunk of Aether damage to Reap Spirit. You also have some recharge and target area buffs for Doom Bolt. It grants the skill Moment of Clarity, so 15% chance on attack. We get a big old chunk of energy regen. Yeah, we get a little heal. Yeah, we restore a little energy, but that energy regen will help you channel Albrecht's Aether Ray. It's also a 2-second duration with a 2.5 second skill recharge. That's basically going to be up all the time because you're channeling an ability. Presumably it's going to proc that a lot while it's up. So it's essentially a 30 energy regen buff. On top of a class combination that can already run a ton of energy regen. The helmet, like I said, the +1 to all skills was changed to +1 to Arcanist to Necro. And then they added on Vitality Decay to AAR, converting the Lightning to Vitality on AAR, and then Vitality Decay to Reap Spirit. It actually might be an interesting thing to consider for a non-Aether Vitality combo. If you're doing Aether Lightning with Albrecht's, to run the Clairvoyant's Wand over, say, a Warp Fire, because of it focusing the damage in on Aether with the Lightning. I'll have to maybe play with that in the future. But anyways, yeah, we get some more damage out of the Reap Spirit and damage on Aether Ray. Then you have the shoulders. The notable thing here is the Chaos converted to Aether. And this would let you run this as a Warlock with Aether Ray, or as a Kabbalist to focus on Aether. Wait, it is Kabbalist is the Occultist Necro, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the chest piece has that as well. The Chaos converted to Aether. So, the 2 set is damages. The 3 set is energy regen, DA, which is nice, and some casting speed. And then the full set bonus, you technically don't really get anything for Albrecht's Aether Ray. You get a tiny % chance of having the cooldown of Reap Spirit refunded, and reduces the cost of Reap Spirit. You do get +3 to the Ray, though. And then the rest is for Doom Bolt. And actually a little bit for Curse of Frailty. That's kind of weird. But yeah, Doom Bolt becomes a completely Aether ability. I think it'd be Aether Vit. And then you have a chance for the cooldown to be refunded on that. And you still get the Clairvoyance skill. So 100% chance on crit. You'll get a heal, boost your damages, and get an OA boost. That's effectively up all the time with this character after you get your first maybe damage tick, which will probably be a crit. So yeah, you end up with a pretty substantial damage buff once you get the beam going. Other gear, we've got the Conduit of Arcane Whispers for Albrecht's to add weapon damage on. We have a Mythical Band of the Eternal Haunt for the Aether res reduction on the proc. An Albrecht's Duality for the +2 to disintegration, really. Actually, it's kind of funny. That's a complete conversion of chaos damage on everything if you run one Albrecht's Duality with the Clairvoyant set. So if we had anything chaos related, we could run it on this character completely normally. We have Wraithborn Lagraps, and I think they added Vitality damage onto these, and then the Vitality Decay in this patch. Specifically because this Aether Vitality set exists. Because there isn't actually that much Aether Vitality support, believe it or not. We have Mythical Aether Reach for all the modifiers it does to Aether Ray, and for the Aether Cascade proc especially. Our boots are crafted, they are impervious of Tormented Souls. We have a Mythical Mark of Divinity. Even outside of the Demolitionist, I still want to run this. A Phantom Thread Girdle for the +1 to Arcana skills. And an Eternity for that little time loop ability. Yeah, I think I'm still going to run this over the Agravax Malice. So yeah, you can see here, Aether Ray. It's a lot of Aether damage with a fair amount of Vitality. That smidgen of cold damage is from the weapon damage on the Conduit of Arcane Whispers. Big ol' chunk of energy regen is our thing. And go down to Aether damage. It's their Aether, it's their Vitality. So, I just realized our Aether res is not maxed out. That is what we call irony, kids. So, devotion layout. So the devotion layout I have now might actually get tweaked. I actually have to look at that maybe. I think I might be missing... Yeah, I think I have to use a bloodied crystal. And I could probably do some tweaking on my augments. Because I didn't change those at all. So yeah, I could probably do some tweaking on the augments to get the chaos. The Aether res closer to cap. Alright, so devotion. This guy's devotion is basically his old devotion setup, and it could be changed, I think, really easily. In fact, we might do that live on air. Because I don't know that I necessarily need the tortoise. So it does take a chunk of health away. We have fairly good health anyways. And we're gonna do this. Like, I have not run Dying God in a very long time on any character. It is Jin. I really like the new Iskandra set. That's gonna be a build I do next. Iskandra's Druid, Iskandra's Sorcerer, both are really, really strong. Though the Sorcerer, I think I might actually run Alagast set again for the Aether. The Aether color on the shards. Or, I mean, I could just keep the Iskander set. But yeah, the Druid I could also see going back to the normal Trojan set. But yeah, feel free to derail my guide, by the way. 59 viewers. Feel free to derail the guide with questions, because I can always edit this out later. Or if I just throw this straight on YouTube, it annoys YouTube commenters, which I love doing, because I don't read YouTube comments anymore. Yeah, probably Ardor. Hey, Rion Heil. Oh, and hey, Bob Powa. Yeah, so devotion layout. Thank you for the follow, Alvix. Alright, so devotion layout. With a character like this, I'm pretty much doing a slight riff on what I do for my sorcerer. So we definitely want Arcane Bomb still for the Aether Res reduction, because our main damage type is Aether. The difference is my sorcerer goes to Spear of the Heavens for the lightning and Aether damages, which help the basic Aether Ray. The lightning damage on Spear of the Heavens does nothing for him, though. Instead, though, I just picked this up right now, and it might be a huge mistake. Who knows? I just grabbed up Hungering Void on the Dying God for the crit damage and total speed. So, yeah, because the vitality damage actually affects the character now. It might be a huge boost for us. Might be a huge mistake if it actually takes away too much health when it activates. Or I might just not care. Like, we'll have to see. Yeah, it is a very huge buff. Now we are running Time Dilation. We've attached it to Siphon Souls because all of our defenses are still cooldown based. Mirror. What the heck is that ability called again? Mark of Torment. Even Ravenous Earth a little bit is kind of defensive. Siphon Souls itself is defensive. So we still have a lot of cooldowns. So just getting a reset on the cooldowns is really nice to me. And it fits with the other things we're running, specifically Raise the Dead. Because the Raise the Dead skeletons are really good now. The fact that they reduce just resistances. It's awesome. I'm not going to use them on every single character, but the fact that they're Aether Vitality Skellies, we get pseudo pets with it. We can attach it to pretty much any ability on here and it gets value. Yeah, really, really nice ability now. And then, oh yeah, we also do have Aether Fire. Wait, can we attach it to Reap Spirit? Yeah, so Rion, they very specifically wanted to tone down the... Yeah, we're going to put that in Reap Spirit instead. Specifically the Warlord combo. So they did nerf up the Soldier tree. They specifically nerfed shield training. Because it was ridiculously overpowered. The Warlord. And yeah, it sucks that it affects all things that combine with the Soldier to get that nerf in. The Soldier can join the Necromancer because that's what happened in the Necromancer. Because when Spellbinders were like busted for a little while, so the Arcanist and the Necro had to take a hit. That's why like Star Pact. That's why Star Pact has that weird Aether converted to cold line on it to stop the Spellbinders from using it. And what do you mean by not that good? What's your metric for good? Is it... oh, I can't be a busted-ass character anymore. I have to actually play by the rules everyone else are playing by. Or, oh, I can't go to Shattered Realm level X. I have to go to Shattered Realm level Y, and it's this many lower. Like, it's one of those things where if you say, oh, this build got nerfed, therefore it's not the best anymore, therefore it's a dead build because it's not the over-the-powered best anymore. Like, I don't know what the metric is you're using for saying a class isn't good. Because you're also talking to a guy who doesn't really care about min-maxing to get to, like, the highest Shattered Realm level. I don't even play the Crucible. I play for fun. I play for my own enjoyment because it's a single player game. So it's like, I don't know what you mean by good. Because to me, good is you can fight Nemesis spawns. If you mean like, oh, I can't, you know, mind blank kill Ravager anymore, or I can't mind blank kill Mob Dragon anymore, then that's your level of good. But it's like, oh, you're new to the game. Okay, I thought you were talking like, oh my god, I made this warlord and I had a busted ass character. Now my busted ass character is not a busted ass character anymore. It's actually reasonable now. Dead builds. No, it's okay, I see where you're coming from now. Okay, so this is for Splitting Image 77, which, hey, by the way, and Rion Heil. So in Grim Dawn, it's a much slower game than, say, Diablo 3 or PoE. So what happens is you'll have a lot of abilities where you'll use them and they'll go on cooldown, and you have to wait to use them again. Right? There's just a lot of those in here. I mentioned in this character's build that he has an ability that is specifically for reducing cooldowns. And even that ability goes on cooldown. So it's very much like a slower game, right? By design. So when you play Grim Dawn, you're not looking to be like, I'm gonna be teleporting all over the map repeatedly super fast, and I'm gonna kill every mob with an explosion that happens free. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna move to the next mob and fight and kill that mob, then move to the next mob and fight and kill that mob. So, like, a lot of what Grim Dawn is, it's very metered, I would say. Rather than, like, Diablo 3's sports car hyped up on crystal meth, or PoE's, let's see how many particle effects we can stack on the screen at once to kill everything. It's much more like, how do I describe it? Like, it's much more like fight, move, fight, move, fight, move. Some people might find that boring, but it's also just very consistent in that regard. Yeah, so for Synergies, it does come down to a lot of gearing, and you'll find gear for whatever you're building, because there's a crap ton of it. So if you want to build, like we have a character right now that's using Albrecht's Aether Ray, so they're gonna be looking for Albrecht's Aether Ray gear, which I have. Okay. There are builds, Rion, that are very, like, one-button builds. In fact, you could probably find people in the forum that take pride in saying they play with, like, 3 buttons on their mouse and that's it. I just held up my mouse like you could see it, and I don't have a webcam. I'm still used to having a webcam after streaming for, like, 6 months without it. I really need to get that back. But we'll deal with that next week when I get back from the vacay. So yeah, let's just take this guy in the field and we'll find stuff to kill. So our big abilities we're gonna want to hit with are Aether Ray and Reap Spirit, pretty much. So yeah, the new Aether Ray. Look, that little skeleton guy just... Wait, we didn't summon a skeleton. Never mind. Yeah, we basically... That was a little guy running up to me and hitting me and dying from retaliation, I think. So yeah, we basically will just myrtleize anything instantly with Aether Ray now. Except bosses. They take all of, like, seconds. So yeah. There are skeletons, by the way. We have them on Ravenous Earth, and Ravenous Earth is just going to summon a crap ton of them as it hits. I think we hit the max number of summons for them, too. And then, yeah, we can get our Reap Spirit out, too. The Spirit itself is not going to deal that much damage. But as, like, a one-and-done hit, it'll probably kill a lot of things. But, yeah, if anything comes close to us, we can just do that with Aether Ray. Yeah, and that's our Hungering Void up. So it seems like it's okay. I saw my health jump down a little bit in there. But it seems like it's fine. The only problem here is, like, speaking of, like, managing cooldowns and stuff, the movement ability we have equipped is on a weird button for me that I can't quite reach right. So I can't, like, teleport around easily with it. But yeah, you can build characters in this game that don't use a lot of cooldowns. But I mean, I'm used to not teleporting around in this game, so it doesn't bother me as much. Here comes my posse. Fire Strike. Yeah, Fire Strike works. Feels pretty good, man. Well, my favorite class combo in the game is the Demolitionist Arcanist, but it's not for everyone. I kind of want to look for some Nemesis spawns. I mean, I could also just run Shattered Realm for a while, but that's a little boring. Unless, like, Jin were up for it. Or Loris if he's still out there. But I'm gonna do a little look-see for... No. I know what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's actually a good example of an easy build that doesn't require a lot of, like, pianoing with your cooldowns. A Force Wave Commando is pretty solid without being super weak or boring. Oh, actually, that works too. A Nightblade Soldier is perfectly viable for Force Wave. Or Nightblade abilities. Like if you just want to hold down left click or right click attack setup. It's fairly easy to do with the... Wait, do I have Fabius unlocked on this guy? I don't. What am I doing? Who do I have unlocked? Womp. Womp. I guess we are going for Muzalauk. Like, that's unfortunate, because he's gonna be brain dead easy with this build to beat. Unless I screw up in some way, shape, or form by thinking I can tank him or something. Does this guy need money? Yeah, he does. Now, this is gonna sound funny. Weapon pool skills, I actually cannot give advice on because I don't build those types of characters. I actually always build characters that have like 5 abilities. Man, Laudos Varga just disappeared right then. I seem to remember her being one of the tankier ones, too. Loris. Laudos Varga, PogChamp. Oh, there he is. I don't know why you'd ever PogChamp Laudos Varga, to be honest. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bye, Moose. Oh, Laudos Viagra. Okay. Okay. See, I thought you were making a joke on the fact that it's Laudos Varga, who is a punching bag at all levels.
That skill's not ready.
Now, Rowena Kerr up here can actually be kind of a pain, because she's tanky. You can tell that she's tankier. She died in an actual second, not a part of a second.
That skill's not ready.
I think we're gonna have to Shatter Realms this guy and see how he does. I didn't talk about the components on this guy's kit, did I? I realized because I put a Killrian Shattered Soul on him. Because he can actually take advantage of it.
See anything you like?
We got Urbruk's Robes. That's kind of an interesting set. And the blueprint for the mythical Wretched Tome of Nara Adin. A poison acid offhand for Dreeg's users. The Moose-Lock shoulders are not good. Yeah, that's another thing is the conversion in this game can open up a lot of builds too. Legendary chest. Urbruk's robes.
Safe storage. No questions asked. I'll keep an eye on this.
So, the three go to the...
The oracles of Dreeg spoke of your arrival. It is...
The emissary warned.
Here for the FX boys. Yeah, given that I can actually like talk about them now and not get in trouble. Belt am I running? It is the Mythical Phantom Thread Girdle. Yeah, oh, components for this guy. Before we go in the Shadow Realm. We've got a Seal of Corruption on the weapon. Arcane, or Seal of Resonance on the offhand. I'm gonna punch you in the face, Siphon. We have Kilrian Shattered Soul on that, on the chest, and then Seal of Annihilation on the on the amulet. I'm glad you understood that I was saying that in jest, and I wouldn't actually punch you in the face. I mean, that could be interesting. Aether Fire Devastation.
I could hear the battle. Ah, yes.
Got something you need stashed?
So are we just joining Basilia? Basilia?
I'll keep an eye out.
Oh yeah, the full Clairvoyant. That would be making an Aether Warlock, not a Chaos one. Because otherwise you'd be doing Black Flame Scourge.
You've been quite a sight since, my dear. Who need then what I've heard is the
So you've chosen to fight under... Yes.
I would assume it does. I'm not playing a Warlock right now, though.
I do the best I can with what I've got. If you find any blueprints, bring them back.
The oracles of Dreeg spoke of your... How far shall we go?
Did I grab the right one?
More scrap metal.
I did not. I mean, I should just try the 35 one.
Eternity. A waystone. Splendid. Waystones are fragments of
Yeah,
very
also, I would assume that the... Because we went over the conduits really early in the stream, and there was one that changes it to an acid doom bolt, and one that changes it to a fire doom bolt, and I would assume that those are green and red, respectively. But, like, acid green, not aether green, because they're different greens. Since I made it, let's just go 35 right now, and then we'll do the higher shard. We'll only do chunks up to the treasure room, and then we'll bail. I also didn't read the mutators. Should probably do that for you guys.
I can't do that.
When you have an Aether Ray that just doesn't give a shit about ethereal abominations. Alright, so we got Brutal. Total monsters land critical strikes more often would deal reduced damage. Leeching. Monsters leech health, lower health. Vengeful. Monsters are greatly enhanced retaliation, reduced armor. Shattered. Players have reduced damage and retaliation, but armor is increased. And Corrupted. Monsters more resistant to chaos. Oh, more susceptible to Aether. Nice. I'm going to start Grim Dawn now. I have time before my pad's resistancy starts. The place of guides or Demo Inquisitor. Probably on the forum. I don't play the Inquisitor that much. I think Siphon is joking. Oh, we did look at that, by the way. We looked at the Fire and Lightning ones. They actually look Fire and Lightning now. From the conduits. Yeah. It's like a wave of fire type of thing, and then a wave of lightning. It almost looks like a channeled ability. Yes, Force Wave. Because they changed the art on it completely. Which we looked at last week. But it's on the list of things that got the art changed for conversions. Yeah, the lightning texture's a little on the low res side, though, unfortunately. Oh, a purple one? That's neat. They really did. It's actually kind of amazing. Yes. Oh, right. I forgot we have bosses. Hey. Dude. That's good. We had just one run up to me instead of all of them all at once. All right, we're just gonna claim our rewards because there's a new thing in here I wanted to look at. Oh, I ain't offering that. We're okay. The vendor's over here. Not high enough level to look for the Shattered Realm set. But we'll go to a 60 and try that out. I believe it is only things that do a total 100% conversion. Yeah, we actually got a nice amount of blueprints off this. Go for Wayward Souls. Charge at target foe and unmake them with the will of the ravenous dead. Blood Rager's Cowl. Mythic Maw of Despair. Surprised I didn't have that one. Rune of Eldritch Instability.
See anything you like? See you around. Come see what's left of my wares. Iron well spent.
Got something you need stashed?
Hey, Foxhole. The Taco Bell build.
Safe with me, I promise.
See anything you like? Put it to good use.
If you can craft the helmet, you can just re-roll the set.
The Shattered Realm spans
Now let's see if this guy can handle the bosses at 50. I'm fairly certain he can handle the enemies at 50, because my sorcerer can handle the enemies at 50. We've got berserking. Monsters are berserking. Attacks faster, but become more susceptible to attacks. Leeching. Health leech, but less health. Afflicted. Players have reduced health, but more vitality res. Shattered. Players deal reduced damage, but armor is increased. Toughened. Monsters' health is increased, but their health regen is decreased. And crippling. Monster attacks slow, but attacks are slower. So they're slightly faster. They have massive health regen, and that's pretty much it. Okay.
That skill's not ready.
Well, what I mean is you can re-roll the, or you can do the, what's it called? I legitimately forgot what it was called. That thing you do at the inventor that lets you change one set piece into another. Transmuting? Well, you can just keep crafting the helmet over and over and over again. Oh, right, the lotuses. Never mind. Oh, this one. Didn't mean to teleport in there. The teleport button is right next to the Reap Spirit button. Yeah, that happened to me with Cronley's gang earlier, Jed. On this guy. Oh, here's the Iron Maiden. This should be fun. Or I'll get fucking killed. I don't know if that was her killing me or just the other guys hitting me while I was fighting her. I don't know why I'm taking so much damage here. She is not this strong. Alright, we are in a Shattered Realm. Okay, there we go. And yet I choose to run through that room, knowing it's just a room full of traps, rather than not going through the room full of traps. Oh, who's that? That's Ben Jar. I don't think we're gonna make it around to Ben Jar over there. Oop. I don't even know what you do. You hurt is what you do, because there's other jerk-offs with you. You have crystals of BS, don't you? Fucking god damn it. Yeah, I noticed, Jen. I legitimately didn't think we'd actually have, like, Nemesis in here that we don't have the rank for. In their respective, Nemesis dealy boppers. Hey, look who it is. Teleport, you idiot! Run, you... Wow, okay, thank you. Thank you, Chain. Oh, this is a tiny arena. That's why we're getting all fucked up so quickly. Damn it. Okay, I didn't even get a chance to react to that. This is why I don't like things like Shattered Realm. Because I like can't even understand half the shit that's happening to me right here. I just know that the Iron Maiden is in there somewhere, and she's probably the main thing that's hitting me and hurting me. And then she's got essentially an artillery backup in here too. Pathetic human. Killed two of them though. Then I got cluster bombed. damn it, loot. Oh, fucking. Ugh. Alright, doesn't this character have like slightly lower Aether res? Right. Aether clusters might help. Proper gearing helps too. At least I can move around a little now. Or lose half my health in a single hit. That works too. Ow. You bitch. Nice teleport. Not. Whew.